Do subscribe to Bookstream YouTube channel to receive latest updates on this audiobook. Click the bell icon to receive latest updates on other book reviews. No More, No Less. Author Sandesh Shanmugam. Chapter 1. Cosmic Evolution. Around 14 billion years ago, there was a blast, which reigned in the form of heat, light and dust across the then unknown dimension. The creation of dimensional disturbance in space-time, along with all the 5 major forces now explained under the standard model of particle physics theory, is really worth mentioning. When this event of creation was dawned only in these 2 centuries due to the advent of science and technology empowered by many free thinkers, the growth of Industrial Revolution not only created the opportunity but also polluted fresh ideas. The new thinkers, scientists, artists and visionaries developed new theories and proved their importance through practical experiments. The so-called literary science was transformed into experimental science with the help of great minds and their tools obtained through new ideas. What if there was no development in technology or scientific principles or laws? We as a civilization would have still been in ignorance. The hero of this Big Bang theory is none other than Mr. Edwin Hubble, who searched the skies at Mount Wilson Observatory, as Sir Isaac Newton famously quoted that he stands on the shoulder of the giants. Without the help and sacrifice from the previous generations, these observations would not have been possible. The achievement during the Renaissance period is worth considering till this day. Without those great minds, it wouldn't have been possible to explore ourselves. Similarly, these processes of biological evolution, along with human intellectual evolution, resembles that of cosmic evolution itself. The initial galaxies formed from the then Big Bang were too hot and too bright, too short-lived on the cosmic scale of time. As those stars didn't last very long, they died at an early stage through spectacular cosmic phenomenon called supernova. These remnants from the supernova were spread across the space and took again millions to billions of years to coalesce and form nebulae and other cosmic bodies. These nebulae condensed and harbored the necessary ingredients to form new stars. If you want to see those nebulae on your naked eyes, one can find it in our own galaxy, in Orion constellation. Through the cosmic winds, these young stars were propelled from the cosmic womb into the outer space. Almost all the life on Earth is having similar characteristics as that of these stars. The initial ancestral stars formed heavy elements, which then dispersed through space cataclysmic supernovae. Out of these elements, the famous diamond and gold too holds its place. Hence we call these as noble elements. They are formed straight from the core of stars. The creation of these elements will take billions of years, high temperature range and extreme pressures. The process involved in this creation is nuclear fusion, which is nothing but the formation of new elements through fusing of different elements at extreme temperatures and pressure. At around 10 billion years ago, in a region located at Virgo supercluster, many massive stars died which formed a rip in space-time. The remnant or the dark scar of those stars started attracting the neighboring island of stars through their violent gravitational energy and started to pull these massive bodies. This star, the remnant and many others are now called by the scientific community as black holes. It is said that gravitational energy inside the black holes are so massive that not even a light can pass through it. The collections of black holes started consuming the stars across the end and started to swirl around with each other in a cosmic dance. Maybe due to those repulsive swirls, the stars too started to move across them to form a spiraling structure, which we now call as the Milky Way galaxy. The black holes surrounding these stars are called supermassive black holes. The evidence of their existence is proven by many scientific communities, even by NASA. Then, on outskirts of this spiraling structures, many small islands of primordial stars were also pulled in. Some people at NASA say these are the footprints of our galaxy's evolution. These small islands of stars are clustered together and are named as globular clusters. It is said that in these clusters there are many stars whose intensity are much less when compared to that of the stars in our own galaxy, the Milky Way. Many researches were carried and are still going on in understanding these clusters. This is a story of our galaxy, which evolved from space-time. The so-called ancestral stars which died were many, and scientists name them through generations. Thanks to their death, we are happy today to have various elements, and indeed we have recorded their presence through periodic table. Again, after many billion years, through the death of so many stars, a generation formed a white star called Sun. This is the star of that young mid-size one which was very violent during its young age. Propelled by the cosmic winds at unimaginable speeds from the womb of nebulae, this mid-sized star took its position at the outer region or the outskirts in the Milky Way galaxy. The young, energetic, active star then started to attract the gas and dust clouds, which then started to coalesce. This process took many years. The gravitational pull attracted the solid objects, and these objects started to form stable orbit around the stars. Some of those dust and heat started to attract other particles, and through the motion around their host star started to form its own core, which retained its heat. Many other gaseous elements were pushed to the outer regions to orbit. Hence, after billions of years, formed a stable system where celestial objects orbited across its host star, which you now label it as the solar system. These solid celestial objects were initially called as planetesimals, which took heavy beatings from other irregular still orbiting objects called asteroids. This is not just the story of our star, but the story of all the trillions and trillions of stars in our own universe. This is what Giordano Bruno, whom now we consider as the father of astrobiology, envisioned during his days. There was a revolt among many of his ideas and was burned on stake in front of general public by the then authorities. Today, it is estimated that there are over 100 billion planets in our own galaxy, the Milky Way. The findings of some of the planets were discovered in 1990s through the technique like planet transit or wobble. Many of these planets' activities are observed through the help of giant telescopes along with the famous Hubble Space Telescope, whose name was coined from the great Sir Edwin Hubble himself. Since almost 4.5 billion years of its existence, this third planet is not too hot or not too cold. The region of Goldilocks zone marks the presence of life harboring liquid called water. This liquid too has a long track record. Collision of comets, right magnetic spin, tilted axis and right gravitational force. Those violent primordial days are gone with the silent and active climatic ones. This is the story of our history, and it took lots and lots of twists and turns in the plot to obtain a thrilling experience. All these things are made possible only by the achievements of great human minds that by themselves have evolved intellectually from the long lost tribal den and caves. These minds have taught us many things and also shared their biology through generations. This story is in need to be told and retold to as many individuals to feel the astonishment in themselves and to inspire, educate and learn stuffs with others. Now that's the end of the story of this chapter, the cosmic evolution, story of the stars. In the next chapter, we will know about how theory of evolution marked our existence in this rare blue marble called Earth. Science is proving many aspects and great minds are contributing, investigating, proving, learning, creating evidence and finally record keeping these facts. The information for upcoming generation is stored safely. The invention of telescope by Galileo and also the acceptance of the then revolutionary heliocentric theory really provoked the young thinkers. The modern tools related to communication system, micro to now popular nanoelectronics, are solving the issues of the past. We are in the phase of preferring the tools with more accuracy with minimal error ratios. Our minds peered through the cosmos is asking questions about its existence to the very evolution of those supreme words. We are turning ourselves into techno-wizards and creating intricate technical magic to create, changing the whole new era of living. The development of LHC or Large Hadron Collider and the evidence in finding of the Higgs boson within the theorist's lifetime, Peter Higgs, theorized about this unknown massless subatomic particle which on decay provides mass. Sending robotic emissaries on behalf of humans to survive and do research on the alien lands, we have developed the thirst for knowledge. All this is made possible by the molecules which formed in the core of a star. As Carl Sagan mentioned once in his famous work Cosmos, we are made of stardust. After the successful placement of Hubble Space Telescope and the correction of the warped mirror, a patch of sky was concentrated for many days, was observed. That patch we call today as the Hubble Deep Field, which has more than billions of galaxies. All these galaxies seen on the telescopes are our own galaxy's ancestors, and these galaxies are redshifted. This phenomenon of the galaxies lying at the infrared region explains the expansion of our universe, of what Sir Edwin Hubble predicted. It was later observed by Sir Edwin Hubble himself in Mount Wilson Observatory. When the galaxy moves away from its neighboring galaxy, the light on the visible spectrum, VIBGYOR or violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, in the visible spectrum tend to reach the far end of the IR spectrum and finally vanishes to become invisible to the instruments. Thus it is come to be known that the universe is expanding. Nowadays, physicists are trying to understand the laws of the universe and are straining their mind for an equation called the theory of everything, which the great Albert Einstein tried and failed. He took nearly 60 years until his death, but never succeeded. Now, physics is separated into many fields of studies like particle physics, nuclear physics, quantum mechanics. Various theories and concepts are framed to explain the universe and its working, like M-theory, concepts like brains, string theory, supersymmetry, etc. The works are immense. Once Lord Kelvin famously quoted that the investigation in science is almost complete and there is nothing new to discover. Almost a century after his statement, we are still learning new things and understanding new theories and also proving those theories practically by complex tools of our own creation. Do subscribe to Bookstream YouTube channel to receive latest updates on this audiobook. Click the bell icon to receive updates on book reviews.